PCA to me, I'm not like, that's a ball player. And I don't say that in like a bad way, but like I put him right next to Luis Robert. I'm like, obviously you look at, what are you shaking your head at?
I don't know what that means.
This is a thing, Dan, where if you spend enough time around White Sox Dave, you understand what he means. And I'm at that point.
Yeah. Should I be offended?
No, I'm not.
I got offended. I'm not going to. All right.
Hey, guys, cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. The taste you can depend on, a great beer trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. The original light beer since 1975 and still iconic 50 years later. We had a nice time having some Millers before the Crosstown Classic.
Yep. Before, during, and after, Edward.
Yes, we did.
Is there anything better than a ballpark Miller Lite?
I don't think there is, Dave.
Iconic.
Well,
what?
Yeah, I think a Fireplace Miller. We've talked
Those are
about
nice.
It. Very nice.
Yeah. Summertime
Baseball beer,
Friday.
Miller Lite, Friday, under the sun, under the heat. It's pretty hard to beat that.
Yeah, it's really strong. And we went to Country Club. We got those 16 ounces. That was nice. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories, the official beer partner of the Chicago Bears. Go to MillerLite.com/stretch to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Tastes like Miller Time Chicago. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, it's a stretch. Welcome in. Some good things to get to today. The Cubs swept the White Sox, but we will obviously start with the Bears. We want to go on the dark road or like the happier road. It's either
What's
the schedule,
dark road?
the Caleb Williams report.
Was that
I
dark?
don't think
It's a
that's
darker.
Why is that dark?
It's a darker than talking about the schedule.
His blog on it should be pinned to the top of every Bears media outlet on earth because it's correct. He nailed it. If Caleb Williams wanted to play for Eberflus in that shit show, then that's the problem.
Yeah, he met with Waldron and Eberflus.
Yeah.
Like, this is where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah, no, I had no problem with any of it. I didn't think that anything that Carl Williams or Caleb Williams said was wrong. You can't be like, how could they say that about the Bears franchise when it's all true?
It's objectively fact.
Yeah.
And I guess I shouldn't have said the dark road, like the more annoying road.
That's what it is.
But I actually
it's
think
media clickbait.
I think most people had a good I think the Seth Wickersham's obviously selling books. I think he's a pretty good journalist, and he was that was probably the most salacious thing that's going to get the buzz. But I saw all the reaction online was like, obviously there was people outside of Chicago laughing at us,
Correct.
but the majority of people were just like, okay.
No,
and then did you read the part where he said he met with Ryan Poles and like, I can fix this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, where's the issue?
What's the controversy?
There's no controversy in my mind.
I don't think so either.
His dad was a good dad to be like, the Bears, I don't trust them. Fair.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Correct.
Caleb was like, the difference between meeting with Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron and Kevin O'Connell has to be massive. Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the NFL,
Right.
especially with quarterbacks.
Correct.
He just got Sam Darnold paid.
Correct.
Like, so I saw that story and I was like, yeah, obviously my instant reaction was like, oh shit. And then I read it and was like, okay.
Nothing burger.
Yeah, I think the fan base
nothing
was
burger.
all on the same page. I think it's more so an annoying thing to deal with outside of the fan base,
Who cares?
right? Like that's
Yeah,
the
who cares?
like that's the thing. Like that is red meat for the Barstool main page.
Well, listen,
That
and
is-
it would be really bad if Eberflus was still the coach, but he's not. So
Right.
it's like,
so it's
who
like
cares?
all's well that ends well.
Right.
If
And
he
not
had
only
met
that-
with Ben Johnson pre-draft, I'm sure none of that comes out.
We all said at the end of 2024 that we should hire Jim Harbaugh
Correct.
and get a different coach. And like, so it's not, none of it is really surprising to me. I didn't think no one really thought Eberflus, like once it was clear he wasn't getting fired, we all had to kind of just like toe the company line and be like, all right, hope this works out.
Suck it up.
So then on that point, does that make polls look really bad?
I still don't know who kept him.
Was that his call?
I don't know.
Because there's a lot of glazing of Kevin Warren being done right now.
Yeah, for which we can get into that.
Yes,
I mean, they
like-
wasted an entire year of that. They could have been started with Arlington Heights playing
Yes.
the fucking lame game of like, we're going to build on the lakefront.
Yes, because from what I understand, before he even got there, like right when he was kind of getting into office, we'll say, that was all like kind of ready to go.
Right.
And then he kind of came in and like did all this maneuvering, all this posturing, and when it could have been
Right.
Just a done deal. They could have had shovels in the ground years ago.
I don't know.
I think it's clear that he prefers the lakefront, but it's just like eventually there's just no.
Yeah, I'm not giving him a cookie for doing the thing that we should have been doing a few years ago.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Seems like people are really tossing him cookies, though.
Yeah, and Ryan Poles, I mean, from the article, Seth Wickersham, it sounds like Ryan Poles is the one who kind of convinced Caleb Williams is going to be that he should come here. So he deserves a little credit for that. But I still don't know. I would love to get like an inside breakdown of like where everyone was with Eberflus and who was on what side and because I don't know. I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was McCaskey. I don't know if it was Warren. I don't know if it was Poles.
I still think his theory is probably the one that makes the most sense. That McCaskey, the younger McCaskey, not Virginia, obviously had power of attorney over RIP over Virginia, and that's when things started to change. Because I don't think they pay for Ben Johnson.
Oh, well, I think George
right?
McCaskey's been making all the decisions for a long time. I mean, Virginia was like 110 years old, so I think he probably kept Eberflus.
I think the buck gets passed a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's what we've talked about a million times. You can go to any successful franchise in the NFL and you know exactly who's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
don't know who's in charge. I think it is Ben Johnson who's in charge, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been many years where it's like, I think this person's calling the shots. I think this person's calling the shots.
And as much as I just played the cookie game with Kevin Warren, he is an upgrade over Ted Phillips.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
Ted Phillips retiring was a good day for the Bears organization.
Yes,
I agree.
Because a guy who, when you're in that position, you have some sort of muscle, you have some sort of say, you have some vote in the conversation, is a better vote than accountant Ted Phillips.
Right.
It's a fact.
And it does feel like, I don't know what the order is, it does feel like there is more of an order because when the last hire Ted Phillips was a part of was Eberflus, and they hired an outside consulting firm.
Yeah.
And that's how you get it, Eberflus and Poles, and Eberflus was hired before Poles.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that whole thing was just such a clusterfuck from the beginning that it does feel like at least there is some sort of hierarchy, even though we don't know who is actually at the top.
It's kind of crazy though how, and I think like everyone keeps saying, like, are we maturing as a fan base? Like, we're not freaking out about some of the acquisitions we've made. We're not, kind of going over the top with how we think the season's going to go. It is kind of crazy, like how fucking ugly things were just 5 months
6
ago.
months ago. Yeah.
Beyond ugly.
Like crazy, like ugly.
This was my whole speech about 6 out of 10 excitement. Like I think everything is going in the right direction, but I'm not going to get over my skis again.
Right.
Yeah,
I've been hurt too many times. No, I mean, if they start winning games,
yes,
that changes things. But I'm not going to get overly excited until they win games.
This is like another thing where I saw the schedule and the schedule looks very difficult. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Because it's going to prevent.
Got to beat good teams.
And it's also going to temper expectations. So it's like if you look at it and it's like, all right, I think there's definitely 5 wins there. And then beyond that, it's like, who knows? So it's not like last year we're like, can we get to the playoffs? Where it was all the excitement and, I hook, line, and sinker took it. But now it's like I'm not even feeling that. But if they had what was traditionally a 4th place schedule, and I'm like, all right, this is looking like another 10 win.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Just go play ball.
Yeah,
but it is kind of annoying though how the buck keeps getting passed though, because now it's like, all right, well, you could easily divert the blame where it's like, all right, we don't think that was Pole's decision. That was
I have no idea.
A lot of this.
Yeah, and then it's like something bad happens with.
Great way to have job security.
Yeah, some part of the roster, and it's like, damn it, Poles, you are actually, I don't know. It's annoying.
I think it's also interesting because I think, and maybe we can have a beat writer on or an insider on, but I think Kevin Warren is a pretty tight ship. I don't think he has a ton of sources, so I think that's what complicates things a little bit. Whereas previous guys might have had more sources, we might have gotten more intel. I feel like there's not someone, and maybe I'm missing someone who's super tight with Kevin Warren and he's giving him all this information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that because nothing's really changed.
No,
Ben
Johnson. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And nothing has really changed. But yeah, all right. I mean, I think we all had the same attitude. I was just saying it's more of a dark road based on what you have to deal with from outside of the
cares?
Razors.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care.
that's
They're
just
gonna laugh anyway.
Nobody can hurt us more than we can hurt us.
Right?
Yeah.
They're gonna laugh. They're
Yeah.
gonna make everything. But again, it's like I don't really blame them either.
Yeah.
It's like you should laugh.
We are a joke.
There's dysfunction.
We are a
all
joke.
the
As it
time.
sits,
Right?
We are a joke.
Right.
Correct.
Until we start winning football games, we're a joke.
Yes.
So what? There's like, it's like we agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're on
think
the
you're
same
hurt, you
side.
think you're saying
Yeah.
something crazy. We agree.
that's
Yes.
like,
I thought the craziest thing in there to me was like Caleb Williams just had to like watch and break down film by himself.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he threw for 30. What, he played 14 games last year. He threw for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 5 picks. Correct?
Yeah.
Or something. Without having
Close.
a coaching staff watching film with you, saying, "Hey, you did this poorly," or "Do this different," or giving any props at all. That is fucking crazy for a rookie to do.
Yeah.
Behind a dog shit offensive line, he did that bit like just because he just did it because.
Yeah. It's hard not
You
to be
know?
angry though reading that.
Oh, that's an infuriating part. But if you want to
So
like
infuriating.
take lemons and make lemonade, so to speak, he did pretty fucking awesome without any support. It seems like
For sure. It just shouldn't have got to that.
It
coaches
should not
and-
have. But
No coaches and no line.
how are you an NFL head coach and you don't watch film with your starting quarterback?
He's not an NFL head coach,
He's not, yeah.
And
At
like
the time he was,
that-
but he was. He
Right.
never should have been. Yeah.
it makes me think back to the Hard Knocks where like they were having their one-on-one meetings
Yeah.
in training camp, and it's like, well, what was that?
Yeah.
It would have been nice if we
Yeah.
hired Ben Johnson a year ago, and then
Yeah.
no Hard Knocks happens because they can't do a rookie head coach, and the hype
Yeah.
stays.
I didn't know that rule.
Yeah, we had Kyler Gordon on Friday, and
And-
that was the most telling part of the interview. I was like, was it as awkward in the locker room as it was watching on TV? And he just smiled and like didn't know where to go,
Yeah.
because it was so obvious.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't have to answer, you just answered by your emotion right there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even. The only thing I was going to say that might be like a problem is his dad seems a little out there.
Who
But
cares?
like he
Oh,
really,
wow.
he really wasn't an issue season 1.
No,
Sports
you didn't
dad?
hear from him?
I mean, there's a million sports
For
dad
sure.
stories out there. What's his name? What was
Eli
the guy?
Manning.
Eli
Well,
Manning.
no, but Eli Manning. But
Yeah.
what was the guy? The Todd Marinovich.
Maranovich, yeah. No cheeseburgers. I think he like tied his kid's right arm behind his back to make
Yeah.
him into a lefty.
He
That's
was stretching him
I
out
plan on
in his
doing that.
crib at 4 months old.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a true story, but remember there was like Manny Pacquiao's dad killed the family dog in front of him and made him eat it. Pretty sure that happened.
And he was a world champion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his
Weird
dad is
sports
probably
dads
right.
out there.
sometimes
Yeah.
it
We're
works.
about to get
You
Snopes.
want to hear my?
I don't know. You could look it up, Lance.
I think-
look
look up Snopes.
It might have like I think the story. I think Manny Pacquiao was like, we didn't eat the dog, but he did kill the dog in front of us, or something like that.
We've also been home to LeVar Ball for the past, 4 years?
Yeah.
He is-
Yeah.
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 So-
So
LeVar Ball turns out to be one of like, I mean, he was right.
Yeah.
To call your shot on your sons being in the NBA is insane, and he did it, and he was right.
yeah,
Like
it just took him.
people laughed, and it's like, no, he got 2 out of 3 of his sons in the NBA, big time contracts.
Ball control.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Big baller brand.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It appears to be true. It looks like Manny Pacquiao's dad killed his dog, and his dad ate it, which made Manny Pacquiao leave home at age 12.
There you go.
Fox Sports.
Carl Williams, not so bad when you put it up against Manny Pacquiao's dad.
Oh man, that's good. That's fucked up. I should say.
Really fucked up.
That's-
Well, no, you think that's good.
No.
You would eat that dog.
No, I
Like,
know.
oh, you got seconds?
What does
I
dog
caught
taste
what I
like?
said right away. That's not good. That's fucked up. All right, schedule release. Instant reaction. I tweeted some of these thoughts, and we could all join as a collective group. But just from like an away schedule, I was obviously disappointed that the Vegas game was a little earlier than the winter. Second, we have 5 primetime games. I stand alone, whatever. I'm tired of people nitpicking that. Like if you're on
Yeah.
Black Friday,
Black
you
Friday
play on
counts.
That's a
Saturday,
primetime
it
game.
counts.
Yes.
And then we got fucked by the bye week.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of
Early
the schedule
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, those were the 3 big things. And my 4th thing, I guess, is I like the way it's slotted out, and I was talking to Chief about this Friday. I like the way it's slotted out as far as consecutive tough games in a row. They did kind of get what you would think a little cookie in between some of these tough ones, right? Like you go Baltimore, Cincinnati, Giants.
I think the Giants are going to be good this year.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I think their defensive line is going to be
Their defense line's a problem.
elite.
Yeah, they'll be better.
Yeah.
But
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but I think they're going to be. They're not a 4-win team this year.
Right. But you do go like Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland.
Browns.
Yeah. There's like must wins on the schedule. The Vegas game's a must win. The Saints game is a must win, and the Cleveland game is a must win. You have to win those 3 games.
Would you say week 1, JJ McCarthy's first start on the road?
That's a must win.
I've just put Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
And they got better, so I think that's gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean,
but if
yes,
you're gonna catch them,
it's a
that's
home
the
game.
time.
JJ
Yeah.
McCarthy first game, but Ben Johnson first game. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting game. I'm not looking at any of these being like, man, this is going to be easy or this part is good or like. I mean, the road schedule is brutal.
It's
awful.
It's
It's awful.
Having-
But it's not as consecutively bad like it was last year. Remember our last
Correct.
6 or 7 games?
It was like impossible.
It was like 5 division games, and then
Yeah.
it was the Niners, and then another really good team.
yeah.
It was brutal. So it doesn't lay out like that, which is nice, but is also going to fill us with eternal hope
Yeah,
because we will always kind of be alive.
Yeah.
I think.
You hope.
you
I
hope.
think
Yeah.
we will do the schedule week by week in September.
Yeah.
That's when we always do it, for the record, because I know.
I thought it was when it came out, but
No.
No, we always do it right before the year.
Yeah.
Wait, where's the 5th primetime game? Am I missing it?
Green Bay is
yeah,
on
it's
a
one of those
Saturday.
guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
Yep.
Standalone
Yes.
game. Yeah.
Yes. So 2 Monday Night Footballs, 1 Sunday Night Football, a Saturday, and then a Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we knew it was brutal going in. I got to say it again. A week 5 bye should be illegal.
Although the Eagles did win a Super Bowl last year with a week 5 bye,
Yeah.
and it came at the perfect time for them. Not saying we're the Eagles, but that was
It
like
can work.
they basically were. I think they were 500 going into the bye, and then they just ripped everything. They just killed everyone.
They're like a bad Saint. No, they beat the Saints. I don't know.
No, they barely beat the Saints.
Yes.
They looked
had
like
a bad
shit when
Bucs
they did
game.
it. Yeah.
And then that Falcons game where they lost, where Saquon dropped the ball. Yeah, I think they were 2-2 going into the bye.
Sirianni's like seat was a little
Yeah.
a little hot.
They
Yeah.
were yeah, that's right. I remember Max freaking out.
Yes, I do remember that. Any other observations? Do you think going into that week 1, like what's the biggest storyline? Do you think it's JJ McCarthy or do you think it's
I mean,
Ben
it's
Johnson
both Ben
again.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they
Yeah.
put it on Monday Night Football. I'm happy we got a Monday Night Football game. We didn't have one at home last year. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be down to late November and December. Like those are some really tough games. Like because I think the Niners are gonna be good. Like I think the Niners had a season from hell. I think they'll be good. The Packers are gonna be good.
I agree with that about the
The
Niners.
Eagles are gonna be very good. And then
Tattoo
finish-
bet Monday Night Football too.
Yeah. Yep. Tattoo bet Monday Night Football with PFT, and then I'm kind of happy we're not finishing with the Packers. Just kind of sick of that.
That's
Yeah.
nice. And then we have 5 of our games at Soldier in November on. Not really an advantage as far as like warm weather teams because the Giants, the Steelers, Browns, Packers, but you do have the Lions in week 18. If that matters,
Yep.
bringing them out of the dome is nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's absolutely true.
We
Yep.
have been able to punish golf a little bit
A little
Yeah.
bit, even
at Soldier Field.
the last couple of years.
Yes.
They have. Yeah. They should have beat them twice last year.
The Lions, yeah.
Yeah.
And just even when
Yeah.
back to his Rams days. I
Right.
remember that one
Oh, it was so
They
cold
shut
that
him.
day.
It was fuck.
Yeah.
I was at that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I was at that. It was
Sunday night, I think.
so cold.
Yeah, that was one of like the most
Like 13-3 the final.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
that was like one of the benchmark games of that 2018
Yeah.
Of
playoff
the
run.
MAC. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else Bears wise before we move on?
That schedule fucking stinks. That's a tough schedule.
It is.
That's a tough schedule, but
Yeah, play.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I have never been so excited for a Bears season
You keep
Ever.
saying that. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
ever. Well,
That
I
is
mean,
crazy.
a lot of it's where White Sox baseball is right now, and what I think the
But-
Bears should be this year and moving forward. So, that said, that schedule
This is the most
fucking
exciting
sucks.
season since we've had this job.
No.
Is the problem? No,
It's a personal thing for me.
Going into Trestman year 2,
Yeah.
2019.
2019 for
2019.
sure.
Yeah.
That
If
would
Mitch
be
is
the-
just a little better, like
Yeah.
his team. Who
No,
Last
knows?
year-
that's the other one.
Last year,
Yeah.
Really
No, last year I had my expectations tempered.
Yeah.
I had them tempered last year. This year, like you guys are talking about how you're tempering them still. Like I'm trying to, but it's very difficult for me personally because my expectations are for them to make a absolute run at the playoffs. Like it's go time. It's fucking go time. You sunk all your money in your draft capital, or not draft capital, trade capital into the O-line. Defensive line still has depth issues, but like you got the quarterback, you got the receivers.
You see the rumor
It's
about
fucking
Trey
go time.
Hendrickson?
It's fucking
Those are
go
flaring
time.
up again.
Yeah, there was one last week. I don't
They
know.
keep coming, yeah.
The last I saw was they're not talking. Like him and the Bengals are just.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
trade rumor for us. I don't know.
I don't know if we're able to do it anymore.
I also
Financially,
think that's
Are you
it's
gonna
like
sink
kind of like a Khalil Mack thing where it's like you get him for a year, then you got to pay him. He's on the wrong side of 30. Obviously, he'd be awesome, but
it's like they're.
you're going all in before you even know what the quarterback is.
And we would have a disgusting amount of money.
on the defensive line.
edge.
Yeah,
Right.
on the edge.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
It'd be
I'm
like
not.
$40 million if you match.
Listen, I'll
his.
sell myself if they do it, but I just, as of right now, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
let's see what Caleb is for real.
If they do that earlier in the offseason, I mean, we've talked about it. I'm all in.
Right.
You know, but where we sit right now,
That feels like a move if like the Bears this year are a playoff team. It's like, oh shit, they're a piece or two away from being a legit contender. Then it's like, all right, let's do it.
agreed. And I realize it might be sounding like we're talking from both sides of our mouth because we think edge is one of the greatest uncertainties on the team, but I just don't know if this is the way to address it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'd have to trade picks.
Yeah. You roll with it, and then you hope.
I also feel like the edge, like most teams don't have a Montez Sweat. Like he is like when he's right, like he is that difference maker, and it's like it makes everybody else better. So you would hope that if he rebounds and would they pay him $100 million?
Yeah.
If
Over five, I believe.
Yeah, if he plays like that, like what he was when the Bears first got him, then it's like, do you really need another superstar on the other side? So it's like, can Dennis Allen use the tools that he has there,
Scheme him up
to get him more one-on-ones? And
Yeah, well,
that's what another thing Kyler Gordon said. It's like he was like, you'd see it on film. He's doubled every single snap.
Right.
So
that's the theory, it feels like. So I
Yeah.
hope it's a fruitful one. And let's pause, guys. We want to talk about the flavor of the summer, the new Ghost Energy Iced Tea Lemonade. See it right there. It's on my desk. It's a good flavor. Have you guys tried this
I
one
haven't
yet?
had that one yet.
You want to give it a whack? Want to do
Sure.
a live review?
Yeah.
It's a quick little sip. Little sipperoo.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go. That's probably my fault. Hey, you know what the good part is? No sugar, so it's not going to get all sticky over there. That's nice.
Ooh, that's nice.
You like that?
That
I
hit?
like that. Oh yeah,
It's bursting with lemonade. And
it
it's,
is. Finishes with a little tea.
a little smooth tea, a little
Okay.
sweet tea flavor. It's a perfect ride along for all summer long. We'll be sipping on the golf course, the pickleball courts, at the beach, you name it. Like all other Ghost Energy, it's fully transparent, fully loaded, feel-good energy. 0 sugars, no artificial flavors, 200 milligrams of natural caffeine.
That's real nice.
Yeah, it is. And it is sold nationwide for a limited time only. Don't sleep on this epic new flavor. Go try it out and make sure you're drinking Ghost this summer. Also, Row.co. Chief, can you tell me a little bit about Row Sparks, please?
Oh, Rose Sparks are the best. It's just like almost like a little piece of candy, a little lozenge, like a cough drop. You put it underneath your tongue, dissolves. 15 minutes later, you're ready to go. Rock hard. So make sure you're getting on that. It's super easy. You just go. You don't have to have those awkward in-person conversations with a doctor. Like I said, dissolve right underneath your tongue so it gets directly into the bloodstream. Works in 15 minutes on average. So just make sure you have that, and then you're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, Row Sparks is 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue, and getting hard faster means having more sex. After they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. Row Sparks can give guys thicker, longer erections than you usually have because they get fuller. Row Sparks gives you the boost to last longer, so
Confirm.
it's more fun for you both. Row stays active in your system for up to 36 hours, so you can go back to back, round after round every time.
Everybody loves that next morning, too.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at row.co/stretch. That's row.co/stretch to find your prescription. If Row Sparks are right for you, that's row.co/stretch for $15 off your first order. Anything else, Bears-wise?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cubs swept the White Sox 5-1 week. They did what they needed to do.
I would die for PCA.
Yeah.
He's a gangster.
I fucking love him. I was at the game on Saturday. He had a triple. He had that catch in center field. He's the best.
And he's an absolute
Friday, what do you
gangster.
go, 4 for 5?
Yeah.
Yep. 6 RBI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking
It's like he beat the White Sox by himself.
I would
that day.
die for him. And I'm already at the point, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm like, is there a chance Kyle Tucker's like, I want to play next to this guy? Like, this is awesome.
That's
like, I'm starting to trick myself into that.
I feel like the Ricketts would be like, you can have one of those two guys.
Yeah.
We have to cover
Yeah.
in,
Maybe.
Yeah.
a little less.
you guys.
You know what? Who else? Where I kind of feel like he would die for PCA if he was on his team? White Sox, Dave.
Yeah.
We interviewed him. How tall is PCA?
5'10" maybe.
I'd say he's like an inch or so shorter than me.
So Ed made a comment about Miguel Vargas, and you're like, that guy looks like a player.
He does.
He does, and different, obviously, player conversation, blah blah blah. But PCA to me, I'm not like that's a ball player, and I don't say that in like a bad way, but like I put him right next to Luis Robert. I'm like, obviously you look at what are you shaking your head at?
I don't know what that means.
This is a thing, Dan, where if you spend enough time around White Sox, Dave, you understand what he means. And
Okay.
I'm at that point.
Yeah.
Should I be offended?
No, I'm not.
All right, I got offended. I'm not gonna. All right.
No.
Luis Robert is 6'4", 215 of just freak athleticism and should be the MVP that he was paid to be. PCA, to me, I thought that if you get 15 bombs out of him a year, you hit a home run with him as like a scouting win. And he is getting everything out of his body that he shouldn't be. And Luis Robert, on the other hand,
Okay.
should be doing exactly what PCA is doing.
Worry. I'm like close to offended, but I'm not.
Listen,
No,
Dan,
Dave looks at Luis Robert and sees Julio Jones. He looks at PCA and sees like a Julian Edelman.
he digs into these guys' bodies.
Yeah.
Well,
Is
it's
this
a physique thing for sure.
Well, tell him about Riker.
is this a self-hatred thing?
No.
No.
So
it's-
this will explain.
This is the
PCA
perfect
is doing
story.
exactly what Luis Robert should be doing, and that makes me mad.
we were out.
I'm
Holster
holstering
it.
my weapon.
Holster it.
I'm
Holster
holstering
it.
my weapon.
This is like 4 years ago, something like that. We were out at a bar with a bunch of like the Blackhawks, with like Seth Jones and then Lucas Reichel, who was a Blackhawks first round pick out of Germany. Dave just looks at him and goes, "That's it."
I didn't even know. I did not know he.
Dave wanted it to be like, "Why don't I know you're from Germany, but let's talk about playing shortstop."
I
with the Sox."
didn't. I didn't know when the conversation started who he was.
You're a measurables guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
yes.
Yeah.
And then obviously I found out who he was like a minute or so into the conversation, and I'm like, oh well, you are a professional athlete, but I was like, this guy needs to fucking play like baseball. I'm gonna be the guy that teaches him how to do it.
Didn't you have him swinging a fake bat?
I
Or
probably
did I get
did.
that wrong?
No, he did. Yeah.
He had a Blackhawks first. Let me see.
It's like, no, bring those hands in tighter.
Yeah, so that's
nice
what
and short.
that's what he means. Like
Yeah.
he's not.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
He's not
You
he's
guys-
not a physically imposing dude, and he's got 12 bombs right now. Like if he would have been a 270, 320, 12, 15, maybe up to 20 home run guy from the leadoff spot, and you add that to what he does defensively and on the bases, that is a superstar player. Now he's just all of a sudden fucking Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And that and
He's the MVP of the league.
he
Yeah.
is so on fire. It's absurd.
Like the only guys with comparable stats
And
are Ohtani and Judge.
Yeah.
I keep thinking there's going to be a fall off, and it hasn't
Awesome.
come. He's just
His
fucking
defense is awesome.
Yeah.
that was
He was still worth putting in the lineup when he was hitting 150. 'cause
Right.
his defense is
That's
so
what I'm
good.
saying.
Well,
that's what
but
I'm saying.
That's where the beauty of all this is, where they were afraid to hit him leadoff before because he wasn't getting on base. He
Yeah,
wasn't
now
doing anything
it's-
offensively. Now where you could put that weapon right at the top of the
Yep.
order.
You might have to start hitting him third
Yeah.
because he's like, you
no,
don't.
you don't fuck with him.
I'm joking,
Yeah.
but like he has the power to.
But they were burying him 7th, 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he was laying the line.
They just recently put him in top.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
because
like a
it's
week
like,
and a half
hey,
ago.
Yeah.
you're
I
forced to hit
like
him.
I wouldn't have even touched him like out of this. It shouldn't be a thing, but it is a thing. If you move in the order, it's like a juju thing. It can throw you off a little bit for no reason at all. It just does, and that's why I wouldn't have moved him. Just because, like, don't mess if it's not. Don't mess with it if it isn't broken. You know.
Yeah.
But
He seems
has
impervious to juju.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys went on Friday.
Yes.
Wind. Crazy.
Oh,
11 and a half
Saturday was
over.
insane.
I looked because I looked. We were making our pick 6 props, and for DraftKings, awesome app. If you haven't used it yet, I highly implore you to do so. We love it. And I'm like, I looked at the wind direction at Wrigley, blowing straight out to left, and I'm like, oh, absolutely, got to hammer the over. It was set at 11 and a half, and I chickened out.
Yeah.
And would they put up 20?
Oh, I hit it.
Cubs won 13-3 on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 16.
Do they still do the trophy?
The crosstown.
I was laughing about it because like the Crosstown Classic or the Cup is such a media creation.
Yeah.
It's Cub Socks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah.
It's like they tried to force it on it because remember the trophy. I was remembering it the other day. Like the there was the rule that like if they tied, I think it was either
Stays
the
with the
last one.
Yeah.
It's just, like, so stupid.
Yeah.
But like because like PFT brought up the Subway Series. That's like just something that people call in New York like the Subway Series. That it's organic. It's like it's the Crosstown Classic is so stupid.
Yeah.
They just had to put a name on it.
They used to act. I mean, I don't think they gave a shit about the actual physical trophy or anything, but I mean, years ago it did mean something.
Well,
for
both
the city
teams
and
have to be good.
The player, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's the case. Like in the mid 2000s, obviously the White Sox were in a decent stretch then, but for a long time, like you threw records away, and those teams fucking hate each other.
I remember going to, I think it was Kerry Wood's last game, and it was Cubs Sox, and it was like half full because both teams sucked.
Yeah, that was a sad observation. And I like going to the game. There weren't a ton of White Sox fans Friday.
No, there was more on.
Was
I
there?
saw a decent amount on Saturday.
Yeah, I guess like if you're taking a
On-
day off to see that team, maybe
Yeah.
you're gonna go. I'll just go to a Saturday.
They're a beaten down dog. Look at our guy.
I know, and that's
Yeah.
I don't say that as a dig. I say it as like that's sad that it's not
You want
the
to see
same
the
energy.
fist fights?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see fist fights, but
I mean, you
don't
want-
say you want
The anger and
Yeah, you
the
want bad
hatred
blood.
and-
There was a moment where there was like a commotion out in the bleachers, and I'm like, oh, is there a fight? It was a cup snake.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a different.
Now, because I am so downtrodden and beaten as a White Sox fan, I have this question ready to propose to you guys. And like you had mentioned, Miguel Vargas.
he looked. I mean, great weekend for him.
Yeah.
And this guy, we were
Well,
we
last
were like
month.
4 rows off of third base. Going to
looks
body
the part.
type. He looks.
That's
like
what I was trying to say with PCA. He doesn't look like some freak athlete.
What about our
Walking
new
down-
guy, Ballesteros?
I love him.
Love
I mean, I love
But
him.
he doesn't have a body.
I showed him that. I was like,
Yeah.
I had never heard of him before,
Yeah.
and he showed me him. I'm like, I gotta bet him to go yard today. Just he's one of those just old school dip that back shoulder and let it fly.
He just swings
type
as hard
guys.
as he
Swings
can.
as hard as
Yeah.
he can, yeah. But I want to know if I'm a complete fucking loser for saying that there was a lot of things to like from the White Sox this weekend, even though they got fucking cream pied by the Chicago Cubs.
I mean, the Sox just tweeted this. His last 7 games, he's hitting 370, 10 hits, 4 home runs.
Is this Vargas?
Vargas, 9 RBI, slugging 889 with only 1 strikeout.
Yeah, if you extrapolate it through his last month, through the month of May, or even longer, it's his last 28 games, I think I saw, it's like 303, 380 on base. It's like sustainable statistics. And credit to the White Sox. I don't do this often, but they identified a mechanical flaw in his swing and implemented something different, and it's worked.
I don't think you're a loser. I think you're just unfortunately in a spot where that's what you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
We've
No,
been
I
there.
think that makes me a fucking loser.
No,
I think that
dude.
makes
You're a
me
loser for so many other things.
Yeah.
This
Like,
is one of the reasons that I am a loser, is that I'm not looking like the White Sox just got fucking dismantled.
did you think you were going to be
Appreciate
one of the
games.
best teams in baseball?
No,
No?
but like I'm like, oh, but there's some stuff to like. That's a loser mentality, I think.
I just don't know where you're going to get hoping for wins this season. Like they're horrible.
They
They were
me
the
back.
worst team ever last year.
That brings me back to like
You're not the
everything-
Rockies.
That's the actual worst baseball team I've ever seen ever. And on the note of Vargas, I watched. He had I don't know, like 30 or 40 at bats last year after the trade or whatever it was, and I that's all it took for me to say this is not a Major League Baseball player. He was so overmatched in
Imagine if
every
we'd done that for PCA,
single fucking
because that was his
Yeah.
that was his last couple months last year.
totally.
Did Mincy text you at all when Elko in there? What was his White Sox report for the week?
Just Elko with a bunch of exclamation points. I did have him to go yard too.
Okay, okay. I was wondering about your text chain now.
I also think that you guys for our benefit, for your coworkers, you need to have your White Sox Mincy meeting like in a conference room before the day like starts. Because like, when he comes in here and just talks like,
I told Dave, I was like, you might have to start sitting out there.
yeah,
yeah.
That's the case.
I'm trying to avoid it too.
Yeah. Well, no, but you have to do it.
yeah.
It's part of your job now.
Yeah.
Fair or foul to Irish goodbye a baseball game?
You got to say goodbye.
He Irish goodbye'd us.
No, I didn't.
I think I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear
You got to
anything.
say, hey, I'm out of here.
Who was sitting to my right? It was you.
Dave.
I said, I'm going to go because Darling was there. I haven't seen Darling since September. So I went down. He was sitting one section over. I just went down and sat with Scott, and we were chatting, and the game ended, and that was it. But I did say to you, I'm going to go sit with Scott for a bit.
That's not.
If you said it, that's fair.
Oh, that was
I'd be in
an
Lansing.
inning earlier.
No, I only said it to Dave because he was directly to my right.
That was just stunning.
But that's I don't.
Should
think
we wait here for him?
I didn't think that he was leaving the stadium completely.
I didn't. I sat
Well,
there
you
through
sat
the end of the
and
game.
then you left.
Well, the game ended. Then what am I going to find you guys in the sea of people exiting the stadium?
Send a text like, "Hey, I'm out. See ya."
Yeah.
Regardless, it's whatever. But I found it interesting. I've never been
An
Irish
Irish
goodbye
goodbye
at a baseball game.
No.
I was planning on coming back, and then things
And then
went
you're
quickly.
just like, nah.
Yeah.
Me and Dave had a nice day actually.
Yeah,
Where'd you
what's-
go
You guys go after?
Club?
Went to country club, then went to
Great
Stretch.
dive bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that on my list too.
I mean,
Yes.
he's the worst.
I don't know. Like there has to be a rule where people just can't talk like that. I don't know. Do you get like 5 and 10 rights when you live
Dude,
here?
it's
or what?
great for people who missed it. Nicky Smokes was like best dive bars in Chicago. It was what Declan's, Halligan's, and the Lodge. None
Yeah.
of those are dive bars.
Great places.
Awesome.
Great
spots.
places.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Like he thinks everything that's not a club is a dive bar.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is.
I just saw him. He's like, "You didn't like my list, Jones?" I was like, "No, it wasn't. It's not like a real list." He's like, his logic is there's wood paneling
No,
Crazy.
and 80.
that's like every Irish bar.
Yeah.
And 85% of the bar has the bar in it, like the actual
No.
physical structure.
He also said it's like Declan's is small.
It's not.
It's got an upstairs.
It's got an upstairs. It's
and
just,
the biggest patio in the city, but
It's
At least on Wall Street.
so infuriating. I mean, I think he's so dumb that he does it. He's that dumb, and then he realized he was getting attention for being that dumb, so he leaned into it. But it was just like this guy's literally never been to a dive bar.
No, exactly.
What are your favorite dive bars though?
I
had
said,
L&L Tavern.
L&L's crazy.
L&L had John Wayne Gacy used to
And
go there.
Jeffrey
That's a dive bar.
And
I
Tom-
suggested that to
Yeah.
Smokes. I was like, go there. It's a hidden gem. It's a sweet dive bar. It's a shithole,
A
but it's
dive
kind of
bar,
funny.
and then what really pissed me off was like bonus for touch tunes. Like, dude, what? Like, I understand a lot of like dive bars might have added touch tunes, but
that's a new
a dive bar is there's two options for music. It's one, there's the old CD changer, and there's only like 100 that you have to do,
Yeah.
and you can't get any new music. Or two, the bartender controls the music, and there's no chance he's changing it for you.
Yes. You don't even think about ordering something other than a beer or a simple mixed drink.
Not only that, but
Plastic
he's
cups.
so stupid. Like a dive bar doesn't have a fucking menu.
Yeah.
A
there's-
dive bar has
Yes.
the pinnacle of food at a dive bar is they might put a fucking frozen pizza in the microwave.
That's
for
it.
Or like popcorn.
You got popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn, peanuts,
Pretzel
that's
rods. That's it.
Yeah.
It. Yes. That's
There
it.
is-
Stale pretzel rods.
Yes.
Can't have more than it can't have more than 2 TVs, and they have to be like small TVs, and one of them has to have like Castaway on it all the time.
Yes. None of the seats are uniform.
Yeah.
No.
It's just so many
What?
little things.
And you got to feel when you go in, if you're not a regular, you're like, oh shit, like people look at you kind of weird because you're like, why are you in
doing
here?
Yeah.
What's the place that has the crock pot chili that I'm blanking on?
I don't know. It sounds awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's like the worst chili you've ever seen.
But I would
Fuck,
eat.
what is the name of it? It's in Lincoln Park, Lakeview. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like that to me is like we don't have food, but on Sundays, we
Yeah,
have a
right.
crock
Yes,
pot of
yeah,
chili,
hot
Right.
chili.
which is free.
There's one right here. Have you guys been to the Chip Inn?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
that's dive bar.
That's
Yep.
very divey. And
There's one around me that's called Roses that's like just not open half the time. That's the other thing is you can't have like regular hours. You just be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, some days they just aren't open because the bartender / owner decided not to open.
this
I
is-
also have
this is
a
my
rule
dive.
where it's like you can't have attractive people in there.
No,
Like there's like that's what I
bathroom
say
has to
about
be
Langs. Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah.
And it's great. Dive bars are great. This
Yeah.
all comes from a place of love. It's just
Totally.
that guy's never been in a dive bar.
Never.
There's one. My favorite is Stella's.
Yeah.
On
Yes.
Western
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iowa, I believe. and she owns the bar, and I think she's probably about 80.
Yeah.
She doesn't speak very good English. I believe she's Polish, Ukrainian, or Russian or something. And when you ask her for a drink, I would go in there after getting home just to shut my brain off. It would be my blackout move when I lived over there. I would order a Jack and Coke, and it would be 90% Jack.
Yeah.
And a splash of Coke. I'd be like, all right, Stella, see you later.
There's also got to be like no furniture, like Nisi Lounge.
That's it, yeah.
Another
Yeah.
one, like
Rossi's. You guys know Rossi's? Yes.
Rossi's is an awesome.
R.I.P.
I love
High
it.
Bar on Southport, Miller's old bar was. It was just a box.
Yeah.
It was literally just a room, and it was like that was it. It was just a square room.
Four Trays is great.
Yeah.
You ever been there? Yeah, right by Hamlin.
Ravens
It's awesome.
at Clark and Fullerton is a good one. That's open till 5 a.m. Another blackout
it's
bar.
crazy that he just
Yeah, I don't know.
worst.
I think you need like 10 and 5 rights or something to make a list. Like that. That was like you gotta live here. Like, gotta be with Barstool for 10 years. You have to live here for 5 or something. Like
it's
that
just
to make a
but
list
it's
like
not even like it was obviously like when he said it about Chicago, it's one thing, but like he has not been to a dive bar anywhere.
that's
So
like-
that was of universal where he has not been to a dive bar.
Yeah.
So and then he came on the Nottingham trip.
Okay.
Okay. He's not a guy who just likes to sit and drink. Like,
Right.
He has to be like firing on girls and like
That's not a dive bar.
that's not a dive bar.
He would never go in a dive bar.
Correct.
never. He would hate dive bars.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love dive bars. There's
Same.
nothing better.
Same.
It's also got to usually there's like one like either deck of cards or like a really shitty old Jenga set. Like just like that no one ever uses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like
some kind of game that's like no one touches it.
Hey guys, let's take a second here to talk about Lou Malnati's. They have teamed up with Frank's Red Hot for a fire new creation, the Buffalo Chicken Pizza. We have tried it, we've talked about it, and we really enjoy it.
it's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah,
it's so
good.
good.
It's good. It's one of those things where I keep getting reviews because I keep people being like, all right, you influenced me. I tried it. It was really good. I have yet to hear a bad review.
There's not.
How
gonna
could
be
you?
one.
Truthfully, yeah. And it's because, some people are like, it's not for me, whatever. Truthfully, I've not had a bad review yet.
I've said it. This isn't typically for me, and I love it.
Yeah.
I ordered it yesterday. That was my Sunday meal yesterday. Buffalo chicken pizza.
Yep. It's the official Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken Pizza. Features Lou's signature buttery crust, a house-made ranch, and a hot sauce blend, shredded chicken, mozzarella, and a drizzle of the secret sauce. It's bold, creamy, and packed with flavor. A perfect pairing for two iconic brands. You can order for pickup or delivery at LouMalnati's.com. One more time, visit LouMalnati's.com and order your Buffalo Chicken Pizza and all your deep dish favorites.
One of my prereqs for a dive bar is they still have wallpaper that is kind of stained from cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
And that has been
Richards.
banned for Richards, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
My favorite one
I
in
don't
Madison got
That's
shut
almost
down.
not even a dive bar anymore. I wouldn't say it is, but
That's pretty shitty.
it's so fucking popular and everybody knows.
Sure,
it
yeah.
that-
Like, sometimes dive bars get too popular. And
Oh yeah, for sure. My
There's the
favorite one in
one-
Madison got shut down. Silver Dollar. It had a shuffleboard, and it had 2 TVs, and the TVs were maybe 30 inches, and like they just wouldn't be on games. Like, you just
Price
like,
is
why?
Right.
Why is this not on a
114.
game? There's a game on. Why is it not on?
just popping the 2 VHS
whatever-
Braveheart.
Yeah.
There was
Like-
a time I was at L&L Tavern. It was the only time I'd been there, and the bartender gave me the remote and was like,
Yeah.
put on what you want.
Yeah. That's a dive bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
the one right down the street from L&L? It's also kind of become like a
Harrods? No.
No, it's on Clark right there, like Clark and Diversity-ish.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
It used to
It's
be
not Barrett's?
No,
No,
Like even one of my favorite bars in the city, I wouldn't consider a dive bar, even though it has a couple dive bar things. Burwood,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
a dive bar. It's too big.
it's got a menu and everything.
Yeah, right. It's too big, but it's like
Jake's?
Divey-ish.
right. It's got like a little bit of the It's like a neighborhood place.
Side street
that's-
saloon.
Yeah.
similar.
yeah.
Jake's? Is that what you're thinking
that's
of?
what I'm
Yeah, but
thinking
it's
of,
not
Jake's,
even.
yeah.
It's too popular.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
popular. I was thinking
It's
of
all like
Jake's.
college kids.
That's
Right.
like
10 years ago, I went in there and the bartender, the owner, hustled me in a game of pool. He literally hustled me. He let me win a game,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, all right, I'll bet anything you want. And I lost $60 to him.
another like Donnie Does has discovered Nilda's.
Nilda's,
Like
yeah.
Nilda's is a
They-
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't open unless you ask him to
Right.
open.
Correct.
He got
Yeah.
he got
Correct.
the guy's number and he's like, yeah, just let me know if you want to come in. I'll open up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's
Help
Rose's
yourself.
Lounge.
Yeah, the
Like-
Rose
like-
is right by me. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not. They
Yeah.
just open whenever they want to.
Yeah, they have like an outside area where people will go and like smoke, and it's just a backyard, and they have a broken down minivan with like,
Yes.
not even tires.
Yes.
It's just like the
Roses is
yeah.
great. Total dive bar.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy.
Idiot.
He's a fucking
It was.
Should we take him on a real dive bar tour?
But I thought about that. And I was like, let's do it. But I don't know. He wouldn't appreciate it.
No, I don't think he would.
But it's almost like sometimes young people need help. Like he's a guy who needs help.
But I don't think he wants help. I think he would come in there and be like, "This is just
this place
just a piece of shit."
Right.
Like, I don't like.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he. Maybe you take him to one without a camera, just because I honestly agree. I think that he would just walk in and be like,
I'll take him.
Come here.
I'll take him to Lang's.
Take him to Chip In. Yeah.
Chip In. They've been getting hit by armed robberies a lot lately. Yeah.
My last Cubs thing was Chelios did the whole Rizzo thing.
Yeah, so is he retiring?
There was like a bunch of Red Sox steam like just a week ago because their first baseman tore his patellar tendons. And that's why I was confused.
Huh.
But Rizzo's big on like he doesn't want to take like a huge discount because he doesn't want to fuck the market. That's what I read.
Okay.
Well, the market is what the market is.
For other players, he's saying.
I understand, but it's like you're not comparing yourself to.
I get that. Yeah, you're right. I know what you mean. That's him grasping at straws.
You think so?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. That's what was reported. Also, it didn't come from the horse's mouth, I believe. But
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about how Cubs fans, you four, should not be letting the Ricketts family off the hook for this debacle that is third base for them right now because it is pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Shaw is supposedly coming back up now.
And he is coming back up.
He hasn't done anything.
They did
anyways.
They did kind of fix it last year with Paredes, and then he obviously got traded for Kyle Tucker. So it's like that changes a little bit. But yeah, it's a joke.
It's a total joke. And Bregman's hitting 303. He's fucking pissing all over.
Can you imagine this lineup with Bregman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how.
That's also a thing. I honestly kind of back to the Bears thing. Like who's in charge? Like I think it's probably Crane Kenny.
Yeah,
that's long been the theory.
Yeah.
Right.
The business side.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm starting to think Ricketts is getting his not handheld, but like a little bit of like bad. He's getting just told things.
But this is one of those things. Like what? Like how can that? Like what does Crane Kenny care what their P&L says?
I don't know.
You know, like I understand the Ricketts
sick bonus or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess
there's probably a bonus. I'd imagine you're right.
Like, because my fear this season, because it's obviously the Cubs are very good and it's fun. With the Kyle Tucker thing is I'm starting to think that like they were like, hey, we have to win the division this year, and then that will get everyone off our back, and then we can just go back to
being
business as
not
usual,
spending
trying
money.
to win 78, 82 games.
Right.
Because that is historically, from what we've understood, that's been one thing the Cubs have done better than every other team in this city, besides maybe the Blackhawks, was they did keep player development and like obviously the business side separate.
Right.
You know, maybe things have changed recently, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I would say that the whole Bowman era, the player development was basically non-existent. He had no draft picks get to the NHL, get to their second contract rather.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm just saying there was no
it was siloed.
Ted Phillips, hiring the football guy. There was no.
I mean,
Jerry coming over the top with, no, we're not going over the luxury tax. Like there was.
I think we'll find out this summer. I think Danny would spend, but it is like, you know, even when they're hiring Kyle, like they did the whole bullshit, like we're bringing in Sharp and Edzo and Hossa to like do it, and then Sharp was with me in Vegas, so it's like that was all like it was all PR bullshit, and Danny and Jamie hired Kyle, and Jamie wanted the fucking baseball guy.
Yeah, but maybe it is as simple.
We would have had the GM of the Tigers running the Blackhawks if not for Rocky coming over the top and vetoing. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like you're not hiring the story was you're not hiring the fucking baseball guy, and then he hung up.
Yeah.
Give it to Kyle.
So maybe it is the
so
same.
We'll see.
Too. But maybe it's as simple as like Crane gives the baseball side like a number,
a budget.
You can't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty confident Jed would have signed Bregman if it was up to Jed.
Yeah.
It's what it sounded like when we were out in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
whispers.
That's like definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait till he retires because I was going to do the whole like Rizzo, where is he on Mount Rushmore thing, but we'll wait for an official announcement.
He still wants to play, I think, because I heard that he was really looking at Detroit prior to the season started, and that would have been a decent fit for him too. But
because he's got Scott Harris there.
yeah,
Who he's tight with.
yeah.
My last note here is that you see how Alex Caruso played in Game 7. Like,
I was having this argument online this morning. I shouldn't have been. Shout that guy because we were just going back and forth. But because I said on PMT, I was like, Alex Caruso basically has been let go for nothing 2 times. The Lakers didn't want to pay him because of the luxury tax, and the Bulls got 1 year of Josh Giddey, and now are stuck with the question of Josh Giddey. Do you match? Do you he's not a guy, and we got no picks from a team that has 1 billion picks.
Yeah,
it's still infuriating. He also I texted with Caruso last night. I was like, dude, you're my playoff team this year. Like, I'm rooting just for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just rooting for him.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for the Thunder. I'm rooting for Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
So, because he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah. Like how he beat up Jokic.
Yes.
Crazy.
Just
he's a winner.
Yeah.
insane. Jokic is a freak, dude. And it just made me think. I was like, maybe AK did have some sort of thing going with that roster, but
then he blew it. You should have traded Caruso earlier if you were going to trade him, and you should have gotten picks. Again, Lance, look it up. How many picks do the Thunder have? They have so many picks they cannot physically use all their picks.
Ungodly amount of picks.
It's insane. And you traded with that team, and you got 0 picks.
Yeah.
And you got Josh Giddey, who, again, I've done this speech. He is not a guy. Like, he's people will point to that lost us the lottery.
Yeah.
People will point to the end of the season last year and be like, no, look at how good he got. It's like, we were playing no one.
Yeah.
And again, if Josh Giddey wants to sign for a cheap deal, okay, I can work with that. But like,
they have so many.
The idea that Josh Giddey is going to be a top 10 guy, and the Thunder, he's 22 years old or 21 years old, and the Thunder traded him. Come on, that's crazy.
Over the next 5 years, they have 9 first-round picks and 21 draft picks total.
How do you not get one of those?
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's pretty bad.
How do you not get one of those?
It is.
So, yeah, that sucks.
Because I mean, Zach and DeMar next to each other are probably never going to work. And then obviously the Vooch trade was not a good trade.
Terrible.
But he was on to some moves with Lonzo and Caruso, obviously.
Well, that was the linchpin, was Lonzo.
Yeah.
Like, when they were all healthy that first 3 months, they were a good, fun team. They were the 1 seed.
And we'll never know what the ceiling was because
The ceiling was probably the winning 1 round of the playoffs.
Yeah, because regular season just doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Also remember that. Did you see everyone talking? If they don't win that game against the Lakers, we probably get Cooper Flag.
Yeah. Well, they lost the
coin flip.
The coin flip. Yeah.
I'm just going under the assumption that the Mavs are going to win the lottery no matter what. That's the only way I can handle that.
Yeah.
Just being like, it was rigged, whatever.
You were there to prove that it was not rigged.
Yeah, it was not rigged. I was there.
you were the patsy.
Yeah.
You were the water carrier for Adam Silver.
Yeah.
That buffet looked bad too, by the way.
Oh, so bad, dude.
Yeah,
It's so bad. Such an NBA buffet.
Can't have that.
That wouldn't happen in the NFL.
No. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was tough.
Gross.
Yeah.
It was tough. Gross. I didn't eat. I mean, buffets are my favorite.
Yeah, it was not good.
What's your favorite national buffet chain? CB, Golden
Corral, probably.
Ponderosa.
Golden Corral, probably. I mean, the buffets. I also love like a Chinese food buffet. Oh, those are the best.
Oh,
Just
fried
like,
rice.
try
Pile it on
everything.
there.
Yeah.
The mac and cheese at all those places is beyond elite.
Yeah.
I love the mac and cheese at the buffet places.
You think so?
I love it.
It's always sweating a little bit. Makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean buffet.
You
just
mix it
You're
in.
rolling the dice,
You know
no matter
you're
what.
getting. OCB's closed though, Dave.
Is it really?
Yeah, OCB
That's
died.
tragic.
I think COVID might have killed OCB.
Damn.
Yeah.
Golden Corral, that was our college road trip. Like when we were on the bus for baseball, we must have hit every Golden Corral in the Midwest.
Yeah, that feels very
Yeah.
travel baseball.
I got yelled at my freshman year by one of the seniors because we were supposed to like dress up and look like professional and not actually like suits or anything, like button down branded tees and everything. And I just walked in with like shorts and T-shirt, and he's like, "That doesn't look good." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. We're like 5-25,
And we're at Golden Corral.
and we're at Golden Corral." Yes.
Come on. All right. Anything else?
I have a few notes. J.D. Vance, vice president, gifted Pope Leo a Bears jersey at the Vatican this weekend.
Oh.
Hopefully he doesn't die right after.
That would
The last pope, he was I think he was the last person to meet with the last pope.
No, I was kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
I was the last person in the Vatican. I was kicked out at 7 p.m. Our group was on that Friday, the day before the funeral on Saturday. We were the last group.
So you weren't the last person to see him alive.
I was.
You just said the funeral.
No, I was the last person to see him. He was dead already.
What?
To see the Pope that died.
Yeah, but he died.
Was he laying in
J.D.
state?
Vance was the last person to see him alive.
Right.
Was he actually really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh
was
yeah,
the last
that's right.
person to
That's
meet
right.
with
That's
him
right.
alive.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe he kills the new Pope too. That'd be tragic.
What was the jersey?
Bears jersey. It said
What was it?
Pope Leo.
Oh, gotcha. It was customized.
Customized. The Forest beat West Ham.
Thank you.
2-1.
Yeah.
For your update.
Okay.
They are still fighting for that 5th spot to go to Champions League.
How many
next
games
year.
left?
This is Sunday's last day.
I like West Ham's song just because I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
The
West bubbles.
Ham till I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a catchy song. I like
Yeah.
it. It'll probably be in my head for the next week now that I just sang it a little bit.
Yeah. One game against Chelsea, and they need a little bit of help.
And Chelsea's in 4th, correct?
Yeah, they're a point behind. There's like
They
3
are,
through 7 are separated by 1 point.
Yes, everybody has 6. Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Man City. Man City. All of
City has a game in hand.
Right. That is correct. So looks like Man City is gonna edge you guys out. Sorry, tragic.
Yeah. So we just need a little bit of help. I think we're gonna try to stream it from here on Sunday.
Nice.
So because all the games kick off at the same time, so it's gonna be kind of wild.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they going to beat Chelsea? That's actually
It's at home.
That's a big game.
They could beat
obviously.
Chelsea. And I think they're healthy again now.
How have they done against Liverpool and Arsenal, the top few teams this year?
Forest?
Yeah.
They beat Liverpool and they drew against them away, so that's like great. They lost and tied with Arsenal. They lost twice to Newcastle.
Chelsea.
I got to be honest. I don't give a fuck unless they don't.
I don't need.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this guy's asking.
You guys you
want him
just here for the you're here for the paint.
Yeah.
You want to sit in on
So
pitch picks later?
if they end up winning, I don't.
Yeah,
whatever.
it wasn't. Yeah, the troll wasn't there.
I
Maybe
think
next week. Though.
The problem is they could win and still not get it.
That would
Yeah.
be funny.
Yeah.
Then I want that alert.
You want the updates.
Yeah.
I'll get it to you. Aside from that, that's what I got for this week. I do like Chase Modroth, by the way. He's okay.
Yeah,
He's
lead off
kinda
home run.
Cute little player, I guess. I don't know.
There you
You
go.
seem this is probably the most optimistic or happy you've been about the White Sox in a while. There's just not
I'll-
constant steam coming out of your ears.
I'll say it's because it looks like the development may be changing for the better for the first time maybe in my entire life.
There we go.
And I'm not even in, like, obviously they had periods of some success, but the development was always non-existent. And it looks like they might kind of sort of be developing guys maybe.
That fucking Leicester game where Troll Sox Dave, like if they have one more goal, then they would have been in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It was all that one game where Dave was trolling my ass.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Scumbag.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. Good show. See you guys. That's it. See you guys on Friday for the interview. And that's it.